Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Months after consultations with Ripple, Brazil's central bank considers CBDC. Very important title, very important article, very important message. Because, guys, as you all know, it's been a very dire situation, right? We've been talking about these CBDCs for so long, but the progress just doesn't really seem to add up. It's like we've been stuck in the same type of scenario for months now, but in reality, like really in the back of our heads, we all know that Ripple and a couple of other parties are really doing their best to keep emancipating, keep working, and keep improving, really. Now, here's just another article explaining exactly that, and it actually coincides with the message that I gave to you guys a couple of days ago, where I said that there's been meetings for the last maybe 3 or so years where it's just Ripple or some of the guys over at Ripple talking with companies, talking with regulators, talking with governments about what type of regulatory framework they would need or would think would be necessary or would help. I think it's because Chris Larson has a lot of authority in this space where a lot of guys just like, hey, this Chris Larson wants to tell us something, let's hear it out. They've been talking to this and those people already and all of that. But also, we kind of concluded and noted that even though they've been talking for years right now, it will not be like that they will just like update us all throughout everything. Most of the time, these bigger regulatory things, they just pop up out of nowhere whenever it's due. Like they could have been talking for 10 years right now, not give a word of update within the middle, and then all of a sudden come out with a framework. And I believe the main reason for that is like whenever you're researching something like this, you often want to give out some hints as to what you're researching, but not really like what you're going to be going for, right? Because most of the time, these frameworks are so difficult because you want to make sure that it's completely solid until the core, like to the bone. And the problem with giving out information preemptively, I don't know how you say that, like prematurely, is that you could really think you're going to go for something all the way till the bitter end, but really at the last moment, like the real end, still change your mind or still come to a different conclusion. It could be that 9 out of the 10 researchers showed one thing, but all of a sudden, the 10th research, which, puts in all those first 9 inputs as well, really comes down to a different conclusion. And this is, of course, with risk management, with policy, with how you want to do everything right. In the end, it could be that all you thought was good won't be really that good, which is also why it's always so difficult to note down exactly what these guys are at, like where these guys are at, what exactly they want. And that's why it's so good that sometimes from some different countries, here for example Brazil, we see some things coming out. Now, even though this statement is not that crazy, we're just seeing here that it comes after consultations with Ripple, but I don't know if there's really a connection between these two things. Here we're saying that because, at least the way it's looking, because Ripple consulted with Brazil, they right now are considering CBDC. But it could also be that they were just talking with the Central Bank of Brazil. Let's see here. In May, Ripple's Brad House held a meeting with the Central Bank of Brazil where institutional matters were top of the discussions. We don't know whether or not Ripple really played the end goal in all of this. The bank on its website says it had close conversation with the Ripple CEO, during which President Roberto Campos Neto conversed with House and some 3 other representatives. They were talking about institutional matters, yada yada. The point is, I think Ripple's is just putting a lot of effort into getting a regulatory framework around the world, making sure that all these countries adopt their CBDCs or kind of just move on in terms of crypto progress and technological progress in that sense as well. And I think the future outlook is looking very good as long as Ripple keeps this up. And we shouldn't be discouraged by not getting enough updates back, because it might really be until the last moment that we get that type of stuff. Right here. We know that Brazil has considered central bank digital currencies, right? We all know that. The reason is, I think almost every country in the world has been thinking about it, and they've considered it, but they're just not as far enough where they're like, let's go for it possibly. Brazil right now is not in a phase where they're considering to go for it at all. They're just considering, can we really do it? Can we really build it? Will it really be beneficial and all of that? Which is why they're considering it. It's not like, it's not like in the first phase. They're like at phase 4 out of the 10 already right now, which you shouldn't forget, by the way. And again, it could be that Ripple plays a big role in that. I do think they have a lot of authority, and I do think more and more companies will be coming out after talking with Ripple. And that's also why I'm so excited about the government coming out with some bigger statements somewhere in the future here, as I personally do think that Ripple has added to that as well. Having said that though, Adam Back calls XRP losing his Genesis block the biggest fail yet. Blockstream CEO Adam Back mocks XRP Ledger for losing its early history. And I want to mock him, but to a certain degree I can't, right? Because it's pretty stupid. It's pretty strange to lose your Genesis block. On the contrary, it's a normal event. I can understand that you've lost it or that it's completely faded. Okay, Bitcoiners come for Chris Larsen, 32.5 thousand blocks short of a blockchain. In a caustic tweet, Blockstream CEO and prominent Bitcoin maxi Adam Back claims that the XRP Ledger's losing its Genesis block is the funniest fail ever. Yeah, that's the funniest fail yet. Lose some of the blockchain history, working copies goes from 1 to 0. As shocking as it may sound, the first week of XRPL's history has indeed been permanently erased, which I can understand if you think that's very odd. I'm not gonna counter that. As expected, the op-ed written by former Ripple CEO Chris Larsen for The Hill certainly did not sit well with the Bitcoin maxis either. As reported, Larsen argued that the Chinese had enough power to seize control of the Bitcoin network due to high concentration of global mining hash rate in the communist state. At least 65% of the crypto mining is concentrated in China, which means the Chinese government has the majority needed to wield control over those protocols and can effectively block or reverse transactions. Blockstream CSO Samson Mao countered Larsen's argument by pointing out that the Communist Party of China itself does not subsidize Bitcoin or any other crypto. Chris Larsen is a few blocks short of a blockchain. The Chinese government does not subsidize the mining of Bitcoin or any other crypto. I'd love to see his sources that state otherwise. Well, I believe the bigger point here is, though, that if China were to just print $1 trillion within their country, or maybe allow some bigger rules where they have to, standardize it, or how do you say it? Like make it from the government or something like that. Maybe to a certain degree, they're going to get messed up somewhere. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it a little bit. Here's that part, by the way, about the being a little bit short of a blockchain. 32,570 blocks short of a blockchain. In retaliation, Monero developer Riccardo Spagni, I really adore him on Twitter, man. Good guy. Paraphrased the aforementioned quote, claiming that the ex-Ripple boss is actually 32,570 blocks short of a blockchain. And again, to a certain degree, I like him, right? And of course, on a completely different scale, I really despise a lot of the things he said, but he's a good guy, I believe. Monero, good crypto, good community at some points. So he also attached a post published by Ripple CTO David Schwartz on Bitcoin Talk back in 2013, in which he explains that XRP Ledger can only be traced from ledger 32,570 due to a critical bug that has erased the earliest days of the cryptocurrency history. And again, I think it's good fun, right? This is just, I believe, a little bit of fun, because it's true, right? It's a little bit strange that they destroyed it all. It's a little bit strange that the real origin of the 100 billion coins is not known anymore. But on the contrary, a lot of people were there at that time. It's not like it was all secret. It's just a little bit odd. So the whole situation here, and actually what I'm trying to say is, I don't like the mockery. And I don't think the Bitcoin maxis should be complaining, or whether or not it will be an issue. I don't think so, if that's your question. I don't think it's an issue for XRP at all. The price will not matter because of all these things. But it's just another little complaint. It's another little complaint. It's another bashing. It's another jab. When we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, there's another like whole chunk of points that are not mentioned daily or not mentioned that often, which I guess could counter a lot of this stuff. Where you have a couple of points for XRP, let's say you have 5. There's, for every one of these points, 5 more points with Bitcoin, which just doesn't sit right. And one of them is just that Bitcoin is a proof of work, which is, first of all, not friendly for the environment. Second of all, has, quite a good possibility of being taken over completely. Third of all, it's reliant on how good our computer stuff is, right? Like the second point was where it can be taken over completely. One way to do that is with a ton of money. The second is with very freaking good computers like quantum computing. And so you can just go on for a little bit. There's a couple of, it's not fast, it's not scalable. You can go on for a little second if you're just going to note all the bad sides to Bitcoin as well. So for XRP, there's a couple of bad sides, yes. But is it a real big field that they don't have the Genesis anymore? Well, it's a little bit odd, but it's really not forming a problem because why would you need it in the end? I don't know. Then something I must mention to you guys is something I did not expect would be needed, but it really kind of was. All right, so Kyle here sent me a message, which is good. I'm going to give him a little follow. Because if you have a message or have a question that is simple to answer, you can always send it to me. I'm trying my best. If you can, please send it on Discord, but if you can't, you can try tweeting it. I'm not always replying, but I try my best. Kyle here asks a question. Hey, not sure if this is legit, but, and then it's a picture. And basically the picture is, as you can most likely see here, from Brad Garlinghouse to somebody else, right? And it doesn't really matter what it is about, but you can read it. Hi, guy. David said you were trying to get in touch. Hey, what's the real story on quantum financial system stuff? Oh, that is no big deal. It's just a global reset. Flipping the switch and going live with XPODO with central banks across the globe happening right after Labor Day. Okay, that's cool. Will it be pretty good for XRP? Does the Pope shit in the woods? Ha, gotcha. One more question. Will XP be backed by gold? Christ on a pony? Of course not. Don't know where this stuff starts. Thanks, Brad. I promise we won't share this info with anyone. And the reason I want to share it is because I can understand where there would be a little bit of confusion. All right, I think this is the fakest discussion ever because it doesn't look real at all. But it shows that some people do think it's real. And basically, it comes from XRP Productions, or what is the official name? XRP, the Standard Productions, or something like that. This one. It's a very cool Twitter account. I personally really like it because I can see the satire in it, and I can just understand this can make a couple of people giggle. The problem is, though, that there's still a couple of people who don't know enough about XRP, or don't know enough about the situation, or don't know enough to judge or things like that, where they're taking this stuff as real, and it can hurt them really, really bad because they're investing into something which you don't fully understand or don't understand at all, and that's where you're really starting to speculate, not invest in. I just think it is a little bit of a problem. Maybe he should just be branding with just hashtag satire in all his posts, so people don't get the wrong message. On the contrary, it's to me so obvious, but it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. It's as you guys can see with the message I just got. I don't know what exactly to say about it, but okay, guys, that was it for today. Oh no, I actually have another one. Damn. Here's what to expect as 66,000 Bitcoin options await expiry. Well, yeah, I can't talk about this for an hour or 5 minutes or even 10 seconds. All I have to tell you guys is it doesn't matter. These interests, these options, I mean, we've talked about them so many times. It's billions of dollars possibly, but in the end, it does not do anything for Bitcoin price. There's been multiple studies which have shown that it really does not do anything. So you don't have to worry about it at all. You don't have to check it out even. Just sit back, relax, and watch it all unfold, guys. It's a crazy situation right now. And we'll see what there is to come. But guys, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I would definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.